I don't give a damn how you turn your face up at me and how you move your eyes against me, because you're the white man's nigga if you continue to try to hold on to this no good devil. I didn't come for an oratorical contest. I didn't come to say what you like. Somebody has to say something different to you. We can't do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Goddamn.
A boy is born in Hardtown, Mississippi, surrounded by four walls that ain't so pretty. His parents give him love and affection to keep him strong and moving in the right direction. Living just enough for the city. His father worked some days for 14 hours, and you can believe that he barely makes $1. His mother goes and scrubs floors for minutes, and you can bet that she hardly makes a penny. They're living just enough for the city.
Okay, now we gotta get you some seasoning, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm white. That on there.
I know you're white.
Don't make it too
but I'm black and proud, so we gonna ask you.
I heard that.
That's right.
That sour cream gonna be a little spicy.
We ain't gonna be shy on you, okay? All right.
I guess he caught it from that new swing in somebody's ass.
Come on, it's with Lorraine.
Lorraine? Oh, honey, please. Lorraine was Ike's last gig. He's always booking ahead now. You watch yourself.
Ike's got a thing for every young heifer sticks her butt out.
Yeah, you wish he did.
Come on, Anime, let's go. All right, in a sec, okay?
Her, you know, for whatever reason, they punishing her for what? Being that bitch. And she just lost. That was the main event. She just lost in the main event to Charlotte. That's crazy. And they've been building this match since Jade Cargill came in. You know, the WWE is trash. The WWE is really, 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 really bad. So speaking of, let's get back to the bottom of the barrel right quick. How do y'all feel, Duke? How do you feel about the progression or lack thereof of Javon Evans?
Well, he's in the same position that he's always been. He hasn't really done anything. He didn't really do much in NXT. He's been in a rotating wheel of a intercontinental title scene that has just get boring and more boring. They just win matches and nothing happens. He's stagnant. And that's what it is. But that's what WWE fans want. Stagnant and nostalgia.
And it's crazy because I'm sitting up here watching him get so much better. It's like I could see it in his eyes. And he's sitting up here looking like, man, why y'all not doing shit? Like, for real. And I could see him get more and more aggressive every fucking week. And it's like they just not putting no interest in progressing him toward anything. And they did the same thing in NXT. You're right. He did absolutely nothing in NXT. I believe that last year he lost 35 matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Never won a title. No tag team titles. No international title. No nothing. They just got him there because the crowd could get behind him. But they have no genuine interest in doing anything with him. Nothing. Let's stick back with the bottom. And he should have been the first one on the list. Owner, how do you feel about Carmelo Hayes? His progression over the last few months.
It's curtains for him.
He's done.
It's over with.
He done.
Well,
when Triple H,
they put him in a U.S. Championship match, but I don't care.
They probably
about to
replace him in a few. He should be having right now.
When Triple H seen that Trick Williams could get over. And when Triple H seen how well Obafemi is getting over, he don't need Carmelo Hayes. This is his view. He don't need Carmelo Hayes. He waited to see if they would get over. That's why he didn't do shit with Carmelo Hayes. You know, that's another edition that I put out just a couple of days ago. Beyond racism, the WWE just flat out do not respect Carmelo Hayes whatsoever. Trick Williams come in and make Carmelo Hayes look like a bitch. Slapping him around. He backhanded him a couple of weeks ago. Told him about himself. Called him a little peon. All types of shit. And just made Carmelo look exactly what he is. Small. Duke, is Carmelo Hayes gonna make it out the year?
Well, man, he's gonna be him and dragging off. Don't be surprised if he gets forgotten. Or if I want to get more real, he's gonna be released, and I would hope that he would go to somewhere. But man, it's very spooky.
Going back to your AEW thing that you already got. They already got.
It's too much, too many people, too many stuff. It's overstuffed.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I feel for Carmelo Hayes because he worked hard. Man, really do work hard. But I don't even think his woman can save him. He is good as done. That's unfortunate. I got you, baby. I'm so glad. It's your love is the best love that I ever had. We gon' go out dancing late. We gon' have fun. Birthday to us. Right now, come here, woman. Yeah, house cold love. Them people can't seem to try to tell a story about my little woman. She makes me happy early in the morning. Oh, baby, early in the morning. Can't see to kissing me every night I want it. Every morning. Oh, little darling, surely little darling, get you gotta have some type of balance in order to put other women over too, right?
Yeah, hopefully. That's my
I
hope.
think that Mercedes
And
Moné gave Tony Khan his first hand job. That's, I wholeheartedly believe that. But this is showing that WWE is a racist organization, white supremacist organization. Y'all not allowing us to sit at the table with y'all at all. You know what I'm saying? In these executive roles at all. This could alleviate the fucking problem that we have on television. And they not willing to do that. They're not willing to do that. So that's why we wrestle with racism. But yeah, they was throwing people like Scorpio Sky in my face hard during that time. And you know it. To the point to where we got the reports that we got this week. You know what I'm saying? Private Party. You was there when they was throwing Private Party at me. Every month they would have a match. See, Private Party was on the show.
Oh man, those tag championships. Oh man.
So I don't want nobody to get caught up in what you see right now with Swerve and all this stuff, because at the end of the day, this is the third time I'm asked this question. Owner, I asked you about the successes of New Day. Despite the fact that they got the tag team titles, you can't name any tangible successes that they have had. It was two other people that I asked about.
Javon and Trick.
Javon Nevers, you can't name no tangible successes. Trick Williams, you can't name no tangible successes. Mike, let's move on to Swerve Strickland. Is there any tangible success for Swerve Strickland in 2025? We're heading into June, by the way.
No.
None.
Nope. They could have had it at Dynasty, but they blew it.
Good. He got a world title match for no reason. He noted that Dean Ambrose had a much longer, at this point, title reign than Swerve Strickland, right?
Yep.
And Dean Ambrose's title reign has been shit, right?
Yep.
And the fans and the masses call that out, right?
Pretty much.
You know, we state that AEW and the WWE is willing to kill their business before they give American Negroes tangible success. I'm not owner Floyd. First of all, welcome to Rasslin With Racism. I'm going to ask certain key questions. You have been on point, so I appreciate that. You know how like I say, you from the beginning, you know, I just started off asking how many American Negroes wrestled on this program, you know, this, that, and the other, right? And white folk go into an uproar. But how do you feel, let's not even talk about the fans no more. If the roster was to grow, they bring Trick Williams up, they bring Wesley up, they bring Lash Legend up, they bring Obafemi up, they bring Elite Blade up. When you really start naming through this stuff, you realize there's not many Negroes in NXT, right? But you bring them up in the locker room, and you still got the Street Profits and B-Fab and Bianca Belair and Naomi and Jade and New Day and all these dark-skinned melanated black people. And then you gotta utilize these people. How do you believe that the locker room is gonna take that? You think they gonna feel like this forced DEI bullshit?
Yeah, they're definitely gonna suffer a lot if they all get called up. But I don't think they're gonna get called up so soon because they fit the demographic in the CW. You know, the CW, man, that's like the home of the black folks ever since they transformed from UPN.
Well, they are trying to revitalize it. It's the home of the black folks when they need to get the upstart. Which is what you kind of alluded to in 2021. The WWE needed to rebound from that COVID shit, not having no audience. But here's another thing too, though. It's like you said, they may not bring them up because of that, but at the same time, I think that Triple H should be more willing to appease the locker room and just not push these Negroes at all.
I don't know, man, but I could see him wanting to push Obafemi. Obafemi is just a specimen, like.
So you see why I delineate, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not taking nothing away. Trust me, I'm not taking nothing away from Obafemi talent, but it is further proof that they will utilize other ethnic groups specifically just to undermine American Negroes. They will do that. And I'm not taking nothing away from Obafemi, but when I see that it's an American Negro problem and you continue to push all these other people around us, you know, I just found out the other day that Byron Saxton was Hispanic. He's not an American Negro at all. As a matter of fact, another one of his parents might be white. He might be mixed with white on top of Hispanic. I'm not sure with that Portuguese shit, but that just let me know further that we haven't had an American Negro, the announcer, since Booker T, and since before then, it was Jonathan Coachman, and Jonathan Coachman may be a fucking Hispanic.
Yeah, freaking I don't know what it is. Like Booker T was probably like the first guy that like basically could sit in the booth and just like be a Negro. You know what I'm saying? because like every other Negro that sits in that position, you know, they always sound like, you know, they
it's not authentic and it's not real. It's not authentic, it's not real.
Yeah,
And you're
you know,
trying.
to the white.
You're trying.
You know, they're not trying to reach out to the black. That's why I like when I be loving it sometimes when I be saying stuff and it be equivalent to Booker T, they be like, "Ah, you're a Booker T burner," and every time Booker T be doing some wild shit, I be like, "Oh, is that Booker T burner coming through to agree to that shit?" Because Booker T really kind of just brings the ghetto to the broadcast. It's like the whole every time back here does the Devil's Kiss, we all know it's naughty, but who cares?
But he do it in a safe way, and so long as he the only one doing it, it'll be okay. In the eyes of white folk, and they feel like we're supposed. My point is, they feel like we're supposed to be satisfied and content with that shit, just because they allow one or two people to do that shit. But if it was to become three or more, it's a fucking problem. And on top of that, look how hard white folk went with Meg Thee Stallion. When she got the SmackDown theme and stuff, they act like them white folks started acting like they did with Beyonce. Like she literally don't belong on the track for fucking. Y'all didn't have a problem with Lil' Kim making Trish Stratus' career.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. And then what's her name? Jackie O. Mm-hmm. Jackie O did Step for a minute before they.
The theme, she really inspired her whole shtick, Trish, with Lil' Kim, you know.
In the next couple of years, Black Americans less and less are going to be more successful in WWE. That's all there is to it. That 2020,
they are less successful now. It's happening right now. And like I said, we at the point now to where if Bianca Belair was to win the title tomorrow, it wouldn't mean the damn shit. What? We already know where they stand right now.
I mean, Klein started after last WrestleMania. What was that? That was the Mania when Bobby Lashley came with the Street Profits.
Remember, they will hype you all the way up. You know, everybody got so caught up on 2021, and they didn't realize that the decline actually started in 2022. There was no genuine. They tested the waters. That's what WWE did in 2021. They tested the waters to see how black people would respond to American Negroes being successful in the WWE, or even melanated people being successful in the WWE. And when we over-responded with how grateful and how we've been wanting this for so long, they said, okay, so now we know how to hurt and bring them all the way the fuck down. I'ma just bring them down. Again. And I'm asking from the standpoint of AEW, TNA, WWE, and any promotion in Mexico and any promotion in Japan. And I want everybody to answer this question. Who are the most successful Negroes of 2025?
Zero.
Trick Williams hasn't been successful since 2025. He lost his title on January 1st, 2025. Been losing to white folk ever since.
And what happened to that last legend?
She lost racially multiple times. Black History Month throughout February, she hasn't been seen on NXT television at all.
Well, they even acknowledged Black History Month.
Not
it's
at all.
The first time they did it.
No. Yes, they did. They acknowledged Black History Month. First episode of NXT, Trick Williams got whipped with a fucking strap. Yes, they acknowledged Black History Month. Black History has a history of getting whipped with a goddamn strap in America by white folk. Yeah, they acknowledge Black History Month. They whipped the shit out of Trick Williams multiple times with a motherfucking strap during Black History Month. That's how they acknowledge Black History Month. Who the hell is this?
No idea.
State your business.
Hey, how we doing? We talking WWE?
I'm sorry, you are?
I'm Anthony.
How you doing?
Yeah, I just want to talk wrestling. I don't know if I'm in the right spot for that.
Well, what do you want to talk about as far as wrestling goes?
I just feel like there's a lot of tension, like sexual tension between Randy Orton and John Cena.
Okay, so you have a great day. You know, white folk is trifling as hell. You know what I'm saying? And these are the extents that they go to. You know, white folk utilize homosexuality to degenerate the world. It's a shame how it transferred down to American Negroes. Technically, we were never supposed to be gay. But, you know, we're not about to go there right now.
I mean, we just saw Triple H and Shawn Michaels kiss on the mouth.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And if this fool was a good troll, he would have started with that. You know what I'm saying? White folk don't even know how to troll no more. And they stink. Triple H did kiss another white man on the mouth in front of his parents and his children. These are the type of filth and degeneracy that they bring to the world. And you gonna sit up here and talk about China, you know, fucking X-Pac. You know what I'm saying? But X-Pac is a two-time Hall of Famer. What's going on right now? How's this match with AJ Styles and Logan Paul? You know, do y'all see why white folk are not allowed on Rasslin With Racism, right? You couldn't even collect your thoughts, and that's what you chose to come up with. White folk feel as if it's some type of badge of honor for American Negroes to lose in the tournament to face John Cena. Well, it appears that Triple H is feeding Gunther American Negroes. First on Raw, it was Javon Evans. Then on SmackDown, they had Carmelo Hayes winning by countout, thanks to a white coming out to help him, just for him to lose to Gunther en route to the cosplayer, John Cena. I said it and I'll say it again. The act of pandering is worse than the act of racism itself as we continue to wrestle with racism. That's good. At least they doing vignettes and stuff to keep them in. Like I said, Shawn Michaels provide realistic storylines. And one of the realistic storylines that he provided was Trick Williams getting whipped with a strap. Yeah. The first program of Black History Month. And I think that they plan to the people. You know, they probably gonna have Trick Williams come out stronger at the end of the month or some shit like that. Y'all see something like that?
They fucking better, because that shit was stupid.
No, they better not, because why would you play with the people like that? Why would you play with Black History Month like that? Why would you play on people's emotions just because it's Black History? And the fact that you would go to that extent as to have an American Negro getting whipped in the middle of a ring by a white man. It doesn't matter what day, year, or month it is, that should never happen. Say that again.
It's gonna culminate with Trick catching the whip.
Yeah. And that's the point that y'all want to try to bring out. And this is how you people try to choose to cater to us for Black History Month, as opposed to just having more American Negro shine beyond these American Negro women. You know, American Negro males is still a problem. You know, a lot of white folk try to sit up here and tell me about the American Negro presence with the women in the WWE. Okay, it seems like that y'all trying to make that a thing, and that's great. But what about the men? You know, and the way that Shawn Michaels is booking Trick Williams and Wesley, it looks promising for those two. But then again, once again, we recognize once they get to the WWE roster, no effort, no real effort. So, you know, just because they put the money in the bank on Naomi, why in the hell do I think they're going to put some effort in her? And why in the hell, you know, if they do give her the women's championship, why in the hell should I be condemned? for not having faith that they're going to do anything with her as women's champion if she was to get it. Why in the hell should I be condemned when I'm looking beyond her losing that championship? What are they going to do to follow up with her losing that championship? Are they going to ever make her a contender again? Or is this going to be a damn here, bitch, down?
Well, you put in the factor that she doesn't need to be there.
I mean, when I put into the factor that Charlotte Flair is a 15-time women's champion, when I put in the perspective that, and not only is she a 15-time women's champion, imagine how many championship matches she got to where she lost.
The power of nepotism.
It's not nepotism. It's white supremacy. It's not nepotism. I'm gonna say why it's not. I'm gonna tell you why it's not nepotism. It's not in the genes for wrestlers to be great. Charlotte Flair is a standout, phenomenal, throughout history, a great women's wrestler. Even on top of that, male or female, she is in the top 50 to 100, male or female. I would give Charlotte Flair that credit. And that don't have nothing to do with Ric Flair. The woman worked. All right, I will give her that. I'm not gonna sit up there and say that. She get up there and she showed the fuck out. Case in point, she gave her all at WrestleMania. Tiffany Stratton wasn't that bitch. I guarantee you, if somebody could give it to her, she would have showed. That would have been the greatest fucking match of the fucking night. Charlotte Flair still got those capabilities. So that's not nepotism. However, it is white supremacy. And I tell you why it is white supremacy. Naomi and Bianca and Athena and Jacqueline and all of them could do the same shit that bitch Charlotte could do. And they was never given the fucking opportunity to go to that extent. So that's where white supremacy kick in. But I'm not going to give Charlotte Flair that nepotism credit. I would never do that. I can't hold her like that. I give Charlotte Flair hell from the soles of her motherfucking dirty ass feet to the top of her motherfucking goddamn head, which is the only real goddamn thing on her motherfucking body is her hair. Probably.
Brother. It's extensions in there.
Oh, okay. Well, I just can't give her no credit and nowhere besides that motherfucking ring. Charlotte Flair is 100%. I can't hold her like that. Can anybody disagree with that?
I ain't in the ring. She can tell a story, but I'm not like, you feel me?
No, I mean, but that's because, but at the same time, too, you're only as good as who you work with. Put her in the ring with Wendy Richter and put her in the ring with Alonzo Blaze and all. You could put Charlotte Flair in the ring. Charlotte Flair could be better than Tessa Blanchard. As far as she could carry a men's title in TNA. Better. She may be able to, as much respect as Charlotte Flair got, she may be able to pull off facing Roman Reigns. Come on now. She may be able to pull off facing motherfucking goddamn Cody Rhodes. Charlotte Flair versus Cody Rhodes? The story writing motherfucker herself. Owner?
I hear you, man. That's like
who could take care of a bitch like Cody Rhodes? Yeah. And who could take care of a bitch like Cody Rhodes? You know what I'm saying? But who could take care of herself?
I can see it already.
Like Charlotte Flair, a woman that go through 3 divorces. You know that bitch taking care of herself.
Oh shit.
Come on now. Rasslin With Racism take you to a way different level. Y'all just not ready.
Subscribe to Rasslin With Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and at 9 Crackers at Owl.
on Twitter X, where you can find
quoted his comments that he was talking about with Vince McMahon. And they are doing the Hall of Fame people right now, so we can't talk about Lex Luger and all them other people. It's funny because the white folk, there's not a single American Negro that was inducted into this year Hall of Fame. Triple H didn't want any American Negroes on sharing the stage that he was being inducted into this year. Too Cold Scorpio, couldn't get into it. Jazz, couldn't be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Curtis Hughes, which could have been one of his mentors, couldn't be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. And I think this is a goddamn shame. And you know what I find fucked up? Kamala is in the legacy wing, and I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it. But you know who else is in the legacy wing? Dory Funk Jr. And I'm not saying that Dory Funk Jr. doesn't deserve it. However, Dory Funk Jr. is also in the WWE Hall of Fame as well. Will Kamala be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame ever, Mike?
No, probably not.
No, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Honor, do you believe that he will be?
So there was rumblings about it this year leading up to the Hall of Fame, but I don't know, one of these years when they really feel like pandering, they might throw that up.
He gave so much to this business, and he was a polarizing figure that stands out amongst a lot of people. It's a shame that, his family had to deal with a lot before he passed away, even with him losing both legs, and they didn't have an opportunity to speak. They just had an opportunity. His wife, an American Negro woman, had an opportunity to stand up and wave for 7 seconds before she was directed to sit down. And that's the end of Kamala in professional wrestling.
Yeah, and that sucks, man.
Yeah.
That, Kamala was, he was an interesting cat. In fact, I remember his match at Ring of Honor with Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever. Fun little match.
He was a great worker. He stuck to that character, but it propelled people's careers such as Jake Robertson, Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant Baba, Antonio Inoki, and all them other people. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't respected. He wasn't respected by none of the the top people, but he damn sure was utilized. Street Profits is not respected, but they will utilize them. Bianca Belair is not respected, but they will utilize her. Swerve Strickland is not respected. Powerhouse Hobbs is not respected, but they will utilize them. You know what I'm saying? And every ounce of them. But they don't have an opportunity to make any money outside of this business beyond that, Road Dogg is a drug addict throughout this industry. He was troubled throughout the industry. He was fired from the WWF multiple times. He's the head writer for WWE SmackDown right now. White supremacy. How many American Negro producers does the WWE have? How many American Negro creative writers does the WWE have? How many is in the executive positions and how many is on Triple H's personal staff? It isn't, Rasslin With Racism just doesn't think that it's just a talent problem. It's what are you putting behind these American Negroes? You got to give us something that we could feel. And I was sitting there watching the interview with, Street Profits and Angelo Dawkins, talking to Cameron, and Cameron wasn't going for that bullshit that these white folk love you for. Nigga, we talk real here. And you trying to pull that little gimmick shit, you got came off they got exposed. They came off looking lame ass shit.
which way, and it probably sped up the process. But he probably would have been dead within that month or something. Maybe he had some type of shit. They just not saying what it is. By the way, where is his wife, the bitch? Did she give out the award yesterday? She was sucking Vince McMahon for a long time. Remember they hired her? Ain't she a writer for the WWE? Speaking of writers for the WWE, I don't talk about this often. I think it's the time to talk about it. You know, one of the head writers for the WWE for a long time, he was a producer for a while, and now he's been a long time head writer for the WWE. So a lot of times, specifically SmackDown. Michael P.S. Hayes is still the head writer, and Michael Hayes is known for being a racist, white bitch. How do y'all feel about him still being on Triple H's staff?
Not surprised.
Not surprising because it's just him, and
I just wanted to wake that up real quick. We all know that he's a racist, but a lot of us don't know that he still works for the WWE in that creative position.
Oh, of course, he's his boy.
Mhm.
It's Hunter's boy, and he owns.
No, Hunter is his boy.
Hunter's his boy, and
he taught him how to be a racist.
Have a culture. It's not taught.
Inherited.
It's in you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see a lot.
So when I said that Triple H, you know, the McMahon grandchildren is not interested in taking over this wrestling business, but they would be interested in taking over the political areas and the position that Linda McMahon is in. You know, they got potential to be senators and congressmen and shit, and possibly even presidents. You know, Triple H's daughters could be groomed to be fucking Baron Trump as we speak. Harry. So these bitches gotta go. We don't need them. You know, the McMahons have always had influence over children. We don't need another generation of McMahons to do that.
Oh,
so I prefer for
the
daughters to be falling. While they in Vegas, I suggest they be in the desert.
Well, that's the issue. That is the issue of, well, you know, the whole ring scandal and all that type of stuff. They knew about all this.
So that's a note. I want to try to find that Pat Patterson note. I'm glad the Duke brought that up. Try to find that Pat Patterson note, something, please.
And also, you know, Shane's kids, by the way, Shane McMahon's kids, they're pro Vince, by the way.
They all pro Vince. The bitch had a little tear in her eye when Triple H was talking about Vince's little daughter and shit. Tiffany Stratton, Lyra, and Julia and Stephanie all hold championships and all hold great standings in the WWE effortlessly and flawlessly. And we, the fans, have to beg to see American Negroes wrestle on PLEs. That's getting worse. A year ago, this month, that Triple H looked into the camera and told the world that he don't see color. He don't want to see them. And on this day, he has proven that to be true. But I want everyone to wake up and realize all of your complaints about the WWE, and you don't even realize that that's the reason why. You want to see color, you just don't know it, or you don't want to admit it. And in the world of color, there are no more intriguing, athletic, and charismatic group of people in this world than American Negroes. Can I prove it? Can you name 10 of your favorite African athletes in the history of athletics. 10. Can you name 10 of your favorite Jamaican or Haitian people, athletes in the world? How about actors? How about musical artists? Who are these creative people? Who are these intriguing people? The job is with American Negroes. American Negroes touch the world. We entertain the world at the highest capacity. The most racist white will pay top dollar to see an American Negro. John Cena came to the WWE Performance Center, it appears, to sow his wild oats with Blake Monroe. He's looking for someone to retire after his retirement, perhaps because he's sick of his wife. Blake Monroe has an opportunity right now to change her entire future. And to think, all she has to do is lay on her back and allow John Cena to do his business. As breaking away from his slave master when his counterpart, Braun Breaker, just chose to take matters into his own hands. The storyline has been Carmelo Hayes has been trying to figure out a way to break away for freedom. The WWE is going backwards. The WWE is going backwards. You know, a lot of people, Gatekeeper, what's up? I see you. Good morning, sweetheart. They going backwards. They going backwards to whiteness. Wrestling fans, white wrestling fans specifically, may not even realize that internally they are bored with white. It's never going to get better until they choose to put genuine effort behind American Negro. Historically, Japanese wrestlers has never been able to sell in America. Historically, Hispanic wrestlers has never been able to sell in pro wrestling. Well, it's crazy too, because WWE, this Tiffany Stratton bitch is a failure. And I think the WWE is recognizing that. And so I believe that by the Royal Rumble, Tessa Blanchard gonna be in the WWE.
Think so?
She gonna take the road to where Tiffany Stratton was supposed to be.
I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with Tiffany, so I ain't gonna say much there, but I don't see Tessa ever being employed by WWE.
Honor, did you hear what this motherfucker just said?
I don't know, he might kick me off the show.
I mean, Michael P.S. Hayes works for
I was trying to find the button.
Jim Ross works for WWE. Jerry
Hold on a minute. Hold on, Honor. Did you hear what this motherfucker just said? You gotta explain yourself. This big fat bitch, boy. This bitch. Hold on a minute. This bitch ain't got no neck. First of all, let's just break this down right quick. First of all, is she attractive to you?
Yeah, I'm trying to hit that. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my god. I just said if she was attractive, he went for the.
My bad. Yeah, she attractive.
Okay, so why? What does this bitch look like? She built like Bernie off of the Flintstones.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
This bitch just looked like a stump. She looked like she looked like a pile of snow.
She don't got like womanly figure. She built like I don't like.
This bitch built like a glass of Nesquik.
She built like an upside down train.
This bitch lips fake, her eyes fake, her nose fake, her jaw fake, her ass fake, and her titties fake. So
I'm
we're trying to figure this out right quick.
manufactured human, like something put together.
Well, bro, I'm used to seeing fake hoes. So, I mean, you get used to it, bro.
Okay, I remember where you said that you at now, and that's so. I'm just saying. So, okay, I need Negro for this conversation because no, I'm serious because I'm serious, and actually, this is that portion of a conversation I do not want to have right now. But I am gonna note what you just said. Because when you do take yourself out of a certain community and what is in your surroundings, do you have a choice but to, take that in?
That's true.
What do you think about on the other end? We talking about a natural, all 100% grade A thoroughbred, no enhancements.
I just see that
Dewdrop.
I fuck the last two. I like
Dewdrop.
No, not Dewdrop.
Oh shit! Here we go. Now we got AEW up in this motherfucker. We about to get ready to go back to AEW in a second. Duke, you came up at the right time. Just give me 2 seconds, real quick, Duke, because I'm trying to figure this cat out. So break down your Tiffany Stratton thing for me, because I'm shocked and I'm actually quite petrified.
I just think she's attractive. I think she's a good wrestler. I think when she a heel, she got a good character. She just got to work on her mic skills. She get too nervous.
Your ass whooped, really. And you believe you serious?
That's crazy, bro. Everybody.
What's your favorite? Okay, hold on, because in NXT she was actually pretty good in NXT. She gave Becky Lynch the best match I ever seen this bitch have. But in the WWE, do you got some favorite matches from this bitch?
Her NXT career was for sure miles ahead of her WWE career. Matches that I think stand out. The match she had with Bayley in January was really good.
See, when you got to think about some shit, then that lets me know that you not authentic on this shit. You don't like that, bitch. You don't like this, bitch.
She had a good match with Bayley. She had a good match with Bianca. Because you remember they kept having her wrestle Nia Jax. So that's why I had to think about it. I didn't like how they kept just reheating them up.
So yeah, it's really the WWE fault to why some of these wrestlers is not the shit. I can see that. Real quick though, before we get Duke, real quick. Did you like her match with against Charlotte at WrestleMania?
Nah, I didn't really care for it. And I like
that didn't have nothing to do with her. It kind of showed because Charlotte, we got to give Charlotte as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. So if she could not perform with Charlotte, then it's a her problem.
You don't think Charlotte phoned that match in?
No, Charlotte is a professional.
That's a fair point. I think that feud and that storyline got too muddy. It got too messy really quickly. And I don't think Tiffany Stratton can play a babyface. I don't think that at all. She's even alluded to that in interviews that it's harder for her because she can't be as bitchy. So,
well, it's stuff like that to where she shouldn't even be opening her fucking mouth saying nothing. But Tiffany Stratton also view you as a boy.
She ain't never met me, so I can't say that.
So she viewed Negroes, I should say.
Yeah, I saw the clip. She probably do. I'm not gonna. The part of Minnesota she's from, she probably do.
It's an unethical sound in the background, and we talking about Tiffany Stratton right now. Ain't nothing going on that shouldn't be going on right now, right?
No, my bad.
Okay, you hear what I'm hearing, right? I'm trying to place two and two together. Chill out. I'm just saying. All right. Duke, man, welcome to Rasslin With Racism. Long time no here. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
What's happening?
Vince McMahon had James Dudley for the longest.
What's happening?
Bill Watts had Thunderbolt Patterson for the longest.
You always need your Negro to possibly help tame other Negroes. Gotta wonder, what type of advice did our truth give American Negroes? Pretty sure that American Negroes in this business experience racism from, be it the fans, a colleague, an executive, and they went to Truth and asked his advice. What type of advice did our Truth give? Keep your head down and keep on rolling along. It's funny because I played this clip yesterday. Just take a look at your screen. After I played this clip, less than 24 hours later, our Truth was fired from the WWE. I resurfaced this video.
Jim Ross and Bruce Pritchard were the only two guys in this sport that ever told me that wrestling is still a white man's sport.
Really?
Yes.
How did they even bring that up in conversation to you?
Well, Jim brought up in conversation when I was going to sign a developmental contract with him. It was like, wrestling's still pretty much a white man's sport, But with any great team, if you got a basketball team with all white guys, you got a Michael Jordan on the team, Michael Jordan's going to stand out. So we want you to be out Michael Jordan in WWF. Ah, shit. You cleaned that up real good, Jim. Yeah, I like that.
Why do you think he even brought that up to you?
Probably the racist is here.
What was your reaction when, you're sitting in Jim Ross's office and he says something like that to you?
My honest reaction is it is weird to see somebody that's working for a company that's made such head waves and elevated wrestling and sports entertainment to its speed, to have somebody in that corporation to speak like that.
Jim Ross, JR, who everybody feeling sorry for because he got cancer in the ass. And Bruce Pritchard, who is a lead creative writer in the WWE today, alongside Brian James, wrote up. Both of them raging drug addicts who's been fired for drugs. Told our Truth that this is still a white man's sport. Now, anybody, whether you got blue eyes, brown eyes, green eyes, yellow eyes, purple eyes, red eyes, white eyes, black eyes, can see that it's a white man's sport. And some people could take what he said to JR and all of them, just said, hey, you just looking out because he said, you got to be the Michael Jordan out of everybody. But you know what? Jim Ross and Bruce Pritchard was in a position to change that. Both of them worked in the human resources department. They hired and fired people. So there's that right there. It was okay to inform our Truth about it. Good, being an honest white man. Did you let them know that you intended on keeping it that way? I can still feel the breeze. So to protect himself, our Truth became an ignorant nigger. Because if he didn't, more than likely, the WWE would have put him back on the street to where he would either be in prison
or dead. Who knows? This was probably his thought process. This is a thought process of a lot of Negroes in his position, coming from where he come from. So he had to buck the system. And that's unfortunate. And that's unfortunate that I may have to see that for Swerve Strickland. And that's unfortunate that I may have to see that from Carmelo Hayes. And that's unfortunate that I may have to see that from Trick Williams. And that's unfortunate that I may have to see that from the Street Profits. And that's unfortunate that I had to see that from Shelton Benjamin. And that's unfortunate that that's the way the Thunderbolt Patterson was. It's unfortunate that that's the way that an American Negro have to be in this business. With that being said, we will be back next week. I just had to express that. I don't feel bad for R-Truth. Hopefully he saved his money. I feel bad for all of the Negroes that's got to come up below R-Truth. American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. From the gentleman here at Rasslin With Racism, so long, Ron Killings.
The one thing I will say is like a lot of the women that are on WWE, like the white women, they actually don't look that bad. It's just that them hyping up Tiffany Stratton, that shit just blows me. Like she's just.
Well, Tiffany Stratton is the worst, I would say. So I'm not gonna sit up here and say that they all bad, but Tiffany Stratton is the worst. You know, if you want to fuck a natural woman,
yeah,
it is no woman in WWE more natural than Doudrop.
Oh my God, you ain't have to say that.
I mean, listen, if you want she's the most unmanufactured bitch that you gonna find. Not even bitch, even all the guys. She's not, she home down to earth. She gonna probably cook for your ass on the road. On the road, she gonna cook for you. Y'all gonna get a room with a stove.
And eat all the food that she cooks.
Man, what? Nah, hold on, cause they be making fucking, they be making goddamn, white people be making goddamn carrots and mac and cheese and shit. They be making baked chicken with no seasoning and shit. I remember I did say it's Doudrop. She gonna cook for you, but
right,
you know,
yeah.
If you ain't saving money, then I guess, you know, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and this shit like that, you know, you gotta deal with them. You gotta deal with bitches that can't cook and shit. And so you gotta spend money just, you know.
Yeah, that's disturbing. Like when you think about it, I don't think you're wrong, but that's still disturbing. Out of all the chicks, the chick who got the name of Pokemon and is like 300 pounds. Like that's some crazy about it.
Hey, we need more natural American Negro chicks then. What you know?
He confronted Kurt Angle. He was about 40 pounds lighter than what he ever was with that mohawk.
I get why they made John Cena the man. I mean, I get it.
I get it.
So they could depend on him. They could depend on him to keep that, to maintain that shape. You know, and now they transition out of that because Roman Reigns technically look like shit.
Roman Reigns is a freak of nature because this nigga got cancer and I just don't understand it. Like that health insurance he gotta be A1.
I don't know that cancer shit. Now John Cena did state that one of the reasons why he retired it was an insurance issue. So I get that, because he was coming out of pocket for a lot of shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, as much time as Roman Reigns takes off, you would think he would come back in more impressive shape, but
But that's why I'm glad that you okay, let's slow down real quick because we are moving too fast.
Yeah,
that is the point of what I wanted to say about Swerve Strickland. You know what I'm saying? Because Swerve Strickland was gone for a certain amount of time, but took that time to get himself in greater shape. Eddie Kingston, who just received the AEW World Title match, didn't. Samoa Joe never did. Kevin Owens never did. American Negroes take time. Trick Williams got the best shape. Obafemi got a great shape right now. Javon Evans is in pretty good shape to be in that circle of type of people. You know what I'm saying? And not too many people that put effort into their bodies.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because there's gonna be some white people that want to push back and say, "Oh, well, Kevin Owens is slim down." Yeah, but it's too late. Black people been this way. They come into the game looking like guns.
They come into look at this. But even if they don't, look at the shape that Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston is in right now. They in the best shape of their lives.
Eating shit.
A motherfucker like Dom Mysterio get away with.
That is terrible.
I will say this about Dominic Mysterio. When he came in as a gifted child with his father, he was fat. Now he's just a skinny Mexican.
I see that our champions today is. I was kind of running through the list of the WWE creative writers that they have on their rosters, and Ryan Ward, I guess he wrote for other people and stuff. He's an American Negro apparently, and apparently he may be the lead writer on Raw. I'm gonna have to look more into him, but you can see what type of work he do to be on Netflix and stuff. And there's no American Negroes, and they barely know what to do with the New Day and all that other different shit. And then they got all these other whites and Michael P.S. Hayes and Bruce Pritchard and Ed Koskey and Jimmy and Bill and Paul and fucking all these other yes men for Triple H bitch ass that don't know nothing. And then I noticed that they got on their team Eric Watts. You remember Eric Watts?
From TNA.
Terrible wrestler. He was in TNA, which actually is funny enough. I actually enjoyed his couple of matches he had in TNA, but I was just a little whippersnapper, I should say. Huh? But Eric Watts was a trash-ass wrestler throughout his time, and everybody knew it. But on top of that, he was in WCW and all that shit back in the day. But the thing about him is he benefits from nepotism. Do you know who his father is?
Cowboy Bill Watts.
One of the most racist people of power in this industry history. And Eric Watts, as a favor, once again, to Bill Watts, is on the WWE creative team. So we already see what time it is. And there's been reports over this week that they're seriously talking about shaking up, doing a turnover, pretty much, on the creative thing. Everybody bitches about the creative. Everybody got ideas of where wrestling could go, where wrestling should go, and what people should focus on. Long-term storylines, short-term storylines, all this other different shit. And it's funny because I sit here and I read half of the shit these people say, and none of the shit makes sense. The only thing that could save pro wrestling are the most charismatic, intriguing, athletic people in the world, and that is American Negroes. We getting ready to go towards Thanksgiving. Owner, white folk, are you going to go in there and eat their dry ass turkey willingly?
No,
green bean casserole for me. Thank you.
Oh God, the shit that they do to stuffing. Why the fact that they call it stuffing in the first goddamn place? I'm so. Everybody should be tired of white. Javon Evans is much better than Will Ospreay could ever be. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. White folk are not that fucking talented to me. If you can let Javon Evans go out there and do what the fuck he does, he has potential to be greater than whatever Will Ospreay could ever do. Same with Trick Williams. Same with Carmelo Hayes. And goddamn it, all the shit that I've seen over time, the same with Wes Lee.
And these are guys that the youth could really gravitate to. Like, if you utilize them correctly, which WWE will not. Like, Rich Holland doesn't draw a young audience, or any audience. Why is he still on the contract?
Who gives a shit? Really, honestly. Who gives a shit?
I mean,
there's so many whites that's uninteresting. And what it... Oh, God. You are an American and an American Negro home. Subscribe. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify, Rumble, and non-crackers at Apple, Twitter X, or White Kelly Armstrong has a future star written all over her. She got all the tools, right? This is another Bianca Belair in the making, right?
I mean, because so many women on this roster just, like, Liv Morgan is not an athlete.
Good Lord. Every time you bring up a name, you bring some of the most disgusting names out, like, and these people are being heavily advocated for by white folk, right?
Like, these people, like, what's another, like...
Triple H put more thought and time into Liv Morgan than he does B-Fab, right?
She can't, like, hold a candle to her. You talking about, you know, just as a worker. She can't do the shit that they can do.
This bitch ain't got no ass, titties fake, face fake, just... She ain't got nothing. Like, just, what's the interest in this bitch? You know, she had the one little storyline being a slut. Now, if you want to start slutting her out and doing some leadership and shit, that's fine. You got to put these bitches in their role. Or, other than that, you know, you got to get with what's real. And Kelly Armstrong is a woman that is real. For real, especially if you want to be on a competitive level. So, yeah, you got these indie promotions that got, you know, black people and stuff, but, you know, the WWE got so much of a monopoly on the game, and then AEW, you know, got more of a bigger name. Of course, Negroes want to attract more to them because they know that, one, that's where they're going to be seen, and two, that's where they're going to get paid the greatest for their craft. That's an unfortunate situation because people do always sit up here and talk about, well, we need to build these organizations for ourselves, and you do have American Negro promoters that do, and same with the wrestlers and shit. You know, it's still not the same. It does sound, it shows you the system of white supremacy via anti-blackness is highly against you because sure we could do that, but y'all genuinely don't want us here. I do have that correct, right? And then, you know, of course, they're going to say, yes, we don't want you here. Get the fuck out. We're in a lose-lose situation when it comes down to whites, regardless. And like I said, a Negro could work multiple times hard than any other ethnic group, and it shows. It shows. It shows in the work. And yet Negroes is still revolving, and can't progress, and can't maintain, and can't progress from there, and can't maintain that. You know, it's a continuous cycle that won't end. This goes to a lot of different aspects of life. we view racism through the lenses of pro wrestling. You're recycling shit. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, all white folk. And then you got Javon Evans out here busting ass, being better than most. You got Trick Williams out here busting ass, being better than most. You got Carmelo Hayes out here busting ass. You know, he was the Miz slave all year, and the Miz chose to take some little time off to go cater to his little cancer-ridden wife. And what did they do with Carmelo Hayes the entire time that he was gone? See, this is not a choice. Carmelo Hayes could have been broke away from the Miz. But for the fact that the Miz had to take some time off, you couldn't find no time for Carmelo Hayes. You know, white folk, y'all kiss my ass. They was telling me that WWE isn't racist because he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Next year, they probably gonna be telling me they not racist because he had a dark match or something on WrestleMania and shit. The wrestling fans can speak up all they want to. It's time for these wrestlers to speak up. Trick Williams know it's some bullshit that Wesley got fired. Javon Evans know it's some bullshit that they got fired. But the funny part is if they were to fire them like they did Jamar Hampton, got fired for speaking up on that. If Trick Williams was to get fired for speaking up on shit, you know white folk always go, why is it always about race? Trick Williams could come out here with his fucking mouth and say, oh, Triple H, I see things this, that, and the other. And it is a system of white supremacy via anti-blackness. Negroes don't creative direction. We are being stereotyped to the point where Callie Armstrong had to come out there and say she's a crack baby. And that's not right. We are out here busting ass. You know, they are the highlight of CW, and they more than capable of doing great things in the WWE, but they need them down in NXT, so that's their excuse for them to not pay them WWE money.
If we stereotyping people, you know,
let's talk about the money.
Callie Armstrong got to come out talking about she a crack baby. When they gonna have one of these white bitches come out talking about how they uncle touched on it?
Because you know that's all in their household every goddamn day. You know, we already know what Stephanie had to do to get into the Hall of Fame. Vince McMahon made her a Hall of Famer decades ago. If we gonna go there,
that family all kind of fucked up.
We talk about the hypocrisy of the whites, but they out here calling Mark Henry racist. They're talking about his personal experience, translating it to his personal experience. We are going to focus more on these cosplayers.
Yes.
We're going to start getting into these people. We're also going to start getting into the people that don't fit the stereotypes and why they are still put into those roles, such as Trick Williams. And we're not saying nothing against Trick Williams, but everyone take a look at this.
Yeah. This is a hood classic right here. You ain't from the hood. All right. That's about me. I know your mama. She said you ain't from the hood. How you know my mama? Don't worry about how I know your mama.
Last Legend already stated, and this coming from Trick Williams' mama, that he's not from the hood. You know, he grew up in what, D1 Athletics, didn't he?
Yep, that's that suburbs to me.
Trick is like putting on like a street tough guy image. He's more like a slickster, you know.
Yes.
Way I speak, like he reminds me a lot of.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he didn't come up like that or come up around it.
I mean, he probably wasn't man on campus and all that. You know, he probably wasn't the most part, but he has embodied this character that has this swagger and this confidence about himself, and I think it's really doing him wonders. I'm a huge Trick supporter.
Wow, I just realized something when you just said that. You know, the black people in this company, they have their own niches. And if you have your own niche, it pretty much makes you easy to write. Like the New Day, those are blurs. Those are black nerds. Easy to write. But yet they're failing. Montez Ford and I can't think of his name right now, but I love his work. But the Street Profits, that's black college culture. That's HBCU culture that writes itself. But they're failing.
Where are the Street Profits?
I haven't seen them in a month.
They have been missing since October. And last year around this time, this is when you guys started getting implemented into the program. We were starting to take note that the Street Profits were missing. And, white folk will always come at you with their being repackaged. Well, white folk told me the same thing last year. And, I just know that this is coming to the end for Angelo Dawkins. And that is unfortunate. That is truly unfortunate that this is going to be the end for him because, he put a lot of work behind him. And it's got to affect him psychologically when people always tell you that you ain't never going to be shit. You know what I'm saying? This is putting WWE. Right now, the WWE is dealing with forced integration. Because, last year we could say, Trick Williams need another year in NXT. And we could say that Javon Evans need another year in NXT. And we could say that Obafemi need another year in NXT. But they have outperformed whatever you thought that you wanted them to be. And now you can't deny them being in the WWE.
Let me expand on your point. The WWE had a PLE last week called, a couple of weeks ago, Survivor Series War Games. And the only thing I'm hearing from white folks and black folks was Lash Legend's debut.
Well, like I said, over the last month and a half, I kind of needed you to let me finish building.
My bad.
Over the last month and a half, the only people that have pulled intrigue between this tournament and, Survivor Series is American Negroes. Lash Legend has been the only talk.
Yes.
When it come down to SmackDown, Soul Ruka and Julia and all these people been on SmackDown over the last couple of months. Don't nobody give a shit. They only been giving a shit about Lash Legend. You got Javon, Carmelo Hayes. People been noticing that he haven't been doing shit. He been stuck on this stuff with The Miz. And he got a lot of hype behind Gunther. And Gunther even tried to sabotage him a couple of times in that match. But he still came out with the most noise in the tournament. Same thing with Davon Evans, who had a really good performance against Gunther. White folk are generally getting tired of white. They don't realize it. Same reason why they don't realize they advocating for certain whites because they're white. You know what I'm saying? But they are generally tired of white because this is what they're so used to. So that when a Negro does do something, it come off super spectacular, but they're not saying it's a race thing because they're not mentioning black. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree with everything you just said right there. And I think it's, what white WWE fans are going through right now, they're conflicted. On one hand, they want to uphold the all-white Paul Levesque agenda, but on the other hand, it's fighting against what wrestling is.
Fighting against what wrestling is. But see, that's the thing, though. This is why I say Triple H saying that the landscape is they're getting ready to change the landscape. You're generally, truly going to have to change the entire landscape, and one way of changing the entire landscape is integrate American Negroes properly.
Talk to him, brother.
It's the only way.
When I know I can make that point, right?
I'm just saying.
That's the end all be all. That's the only way this company, in my opinion, and I'm sure yours, is if it thrives. You have to do what's right. Push your
Bill Watts stated that, and I've been saying this for a long time, but I just discovered that Bill Watts said the same thing I've been saying, for the last couple of years.
And I tell you guys, just look at the demographics. Look at every other major sport, and it's got black athletes that dominate it, except wrestling.
Right.
That should tell you right there. That's a broadcast to everybody that wrestling is fake because black athletes are never featured. Now, they now feature a few of them, but they're still not in positions of importance. WWF has never had one in positions of true importance.
Right.
How is it that we excel in every sport around the world that we are properly integrated into, and we still can't be
anything
It's not like
in this business.
it's a sport like golf or some shit. We talking about full contact. It's fight. You simulating combat, and we saw tonight. Obafemi, just standing next to Cody Rhodes, he just makes man look like a child. He's really.
Well, here's the thing. When you see all these black people in the locker room, because like I said, it's getting down to it to where all the stuff that we've been talking about through our Rasslin With Racism over season 2. If everybody go back, literally since January of last year, when we've been letting you know that it's brewing, that these people are becoming undeniable, even such as Wesley. But it was easy for them to let Wesley go, knowing that you have behind him Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. These people can either have promising careers or they can have ugly careers. At this point, especially with the WWE being in so much trouble, what direction do y'all believe that they are going to go? So, okay, can you imagine Bruno Sammartino versus Jey Uso? Like, that'll be, oh my God, main event in Madison Square Garden? Shit. Don't forget his brother Jimmy. Now, he could have been over in the other territory. Jimmy Uso versus Harley Race. Wouldn't that be the fucking shit? Can you imagine that? Can you even imagine Jey Uso being a fucking jobber to Bruno Sammartino? How did it get like this? How did it get there? How? And why? Because if you put Trick Williams in Jey Uso's spot, he would have been moved on from the Heat. You know how many forms Negroes can create on a weekly basis? All this motherfucker do is eat, because if anybody can name 15 of Jey Uso greatest singles matches, then okay, maybe I could say that he was worthy of winning the World Heavyweight Championship.
And where did he get that shit from? Like, Yeet was some shit from 10 years ago when I was still in school.
Street Profits, Carmelo Hayes. Omos is on his I'm surprised he hasn't left yet.
Owner, this is the perfect time to get a couple of notes out the way. Give me a couple of notes real quick. Give me about 2 of them.
I can't tell if this is a black person, but you had a interaction with a Heartbreak Jid, J-I-D.
I don't know. Just read the post.
You say the whites implemented in the United States Constitution that American Negroes are 3/5 of a human being.
Mm-hmm.
He says this is an example of historic racism.
Oh.
But what we promote is modern day racism. They're born Bianca. You say, of course, it's, we know why they're born Bianca, the color of her skin.
You saying that I shouldn't be
we shouldn't be grouping people together.
I shouldn't be looking at lumping races together. We should look at everybody as human beings. And I just made it a point to say that white folk implemented in the United States Constitution that the Negroes were 3/5 of a human being, and they did. And you're going to sit up here and try to tell me that was past racism, when in actuality, white folk today still do not view American Negroes as human beings. Our truth, and I think I kind of noted this as well, our truth isn't looked at as a human being. He's looked at as a nigger. He's looked at as an entertainer. He's looked at as a tap dancing, buck broken.
That's what it is, and there's no real consequence.
They don't look at him as a human being. If he didn't do that shit, if he was to come out here right now today and expose all racism in the WWE, white folk would never look at him the fucking same.
Oh, they would treat him. He'd be worse than ACH right now.
You know,
he's supposed to just be. He's not supposed to be thoughtful or introspective. He's just a childish.
What do you mean? Vince McMahon called you a nigger. He paid you such and such. Like, for telling his truth. For telling his truth. my question is this: when did white folk? White folk really conceal a lot of shit. And I made that a note too, so we're going to circle back to this note once we get to that one particular note. I know we picking random notes right now, but give me one more real quick, Owner, before we get back to this show.
Post about the New Day.
We just won the tag team championship.
Yeah, black folks booed the New Day when they were face. To justify, this reaction Bianca's getting. Because Bianca's a face and she's getting booed.
Let's get to that real quick. So, because I had a lot of notes just based off of this one particular post. This kind of went viral last night. And so I did have to note a lot of things based off of this one post. So just to keep everything in context, let me just read the original post. It came from Elite Rockers X or whatever the fuck. It says they're booing Bianca Belair like she's Logan Paul or Dominic Mysterio, and she hasn't done anything. And all I did was just post it's simply because of the color of her skin, and I have over 15,000 engagements or some shit like that. Over 100 fucking replies and shit of white folk racially attacking me throughout the whole thing. It's funny because all I said was it's simply because of the color of her skin, and white folk act like I'm hanging people. White folk act like I'm literally, harming them economically. You know what I'm saying? I'm not harming white folk in any way by my view. And white folk throughout, if you read this thread, it's fucking horrible. If you read this thread, white folk ain't really doing nothing but proving everything I say to be true.
Because they never, this is like, they don't serve any consequence.
I mean, they've been very nasty with me.
There's no consequence. There's no consequence. To act like this. And you look at what's going on to the whole...
And mind you, I do want to say this real quick. You have multiple people in the comment section. You can see for yourself admitting that they don't like Bianca Belair because of the color of her skin. And it's funny how these people are just overtly ignoring that.
Because it's decided most of these people are mostly bots, are like they're 12-year-old edgelords trying so hard to be like, oh well, I'm edgy and all that stuff, and they probably all of them sat back and cried.
And it's funny because white folk think I'm trolling them. And it's funny too because I put this up earlier today. I just had to make it clear right quick. I put this up earlier today. White folk take this as joke and race baiting and all this other different shit. But you can call me a race baiter all that you want. But Rasslin With Racism has a 100% success rate at pulling the truth out of the whites.
Because, like I said, the reason why is because they have they believe that any type of little situation, especially these online people, they had this whole, like, we have a White Lives Matter march, and then when it goes out to the real world, there's nobody there. No one cares about that type of stuff. Because they are just these little online little losers who sit down and be like, oh, you're doing this stuff. I'm like, no. They don't believe in that real world stuff, and most of them don't get their hands dirty or anything else. They're cowards.
Keyboard warriors.
The reason why white folk are so terrified of these terrorism stuff that's going on is because this is going to force white America to produce for themselves.
They sold their own souls decades ago. Before me, you, anyone was...
We are going to know how to survive this, but these people ain't going to know how to fucking just... America is going to get ugly. I'm telling y'all, by the summer... And Donald Trump, is funny because Donald Trump working for everybody else but white folk. I can see this clear as fucking day. It's amazing. And they so fucking stupid. And... I'm not necessarily saying that he working for Negroes now either. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely not working for white folk. But they are. Donald Trump is giving white folk these balls. These balls.
Oh, don't worry. Like I said, they go when it gets up to the level of what is going to happen.
You gonna start seeing a lot of people get killed. You gonna start seeing a lot of us get killed by police this summer. It's getting ready to begin next month. The same shit that we seen in 2020 is about to start happening again.
And see, that's how stupid Tony.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
He freebases cocaine. That's how stupid he is. He had Jeff Jarrett. He had a man like Jeff Jarrett that is
Wait a minute, not freebase cocaine. Wait a minute.
How you freebase? Hold up, I'm from Miami. How the
He's freebasing in 2024.
That's some new shit. They must be doing.
Wait a minute.
He freebasing. He freebasing in 2024.
Hold up, bro. Hold up.
No, that's not fully crack.
Like
it's still cocaine.
That ain't gonna.
This ain't gonna pass that shit.
You ain't gonna bypass that.
No, hold up. Rewind that. I'm from Cocaine City. How the fuck you freebase cocaine? I need to know. If y'all know some new shit, maybe I need to. Maybe I'm doing the wrong fucking thing.
It's how they did it back in the day, you know.
We wasn't. Hey, we were wilding, but we weren't wilding like that. Shit.
It's how they did it. It's how they did it back in the day. You know, right before crack, they was kind of freebasing it. You know what I'm saying? It was like the step right before it just hit.
So
that was a boogie.
Like you can smoke weed. I'm high as hell right
Whitney
now.
Houston said
But
crack is whack, but I don't know what kind of crack Tony's smoking because he need to stop.
Man, he was smoking that good shit. I know that. It was good shit.
It's right before it hit the crack. He's smoking it.
Like I say, I don't know.
He doing pills. He's smoking in cocaine. He doing marijuana. He doing all the above.
Oh, he too wired up to be smoking pills. To be doing pills.
Mary Jane, everything.
Because I promise you, the rate that this man going down, he's going down a dangerous slope. If he keep playing with Triple H's, and he finna go nuclear.
Only God
Tony is retarded. My thing is, you got Triple H willing. His thing.
That's why I said.
He gonna overdo it that day. I'm 45.
No, the time is now. If Tony Khan was smart, because the way that's why I said I gotta get WWE same energy because some of the booking they doing right now, Tony Khan can take advantage of what's going on right now.
He can just drug.
He need to go back to school.
This Uncle Paul and Cody Rhodes don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me.
He gonna start motherfuckers.
But you know what, Tony?
He gonna start snorting coke off for training.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Why did the white man hit him with the bottle?
That's what I want to know.
I mean, everybody keep overlooking this shit. Now, you know, all of a sudden, he was in the Marines and he got PTSD and he's an upstanding man. Why did you watch character? No, they were back. Why did you? They were outside before the show. Why did you hit this man with the bottle? That's the question. Why did you? Nobody is questioning why he hit that man with the bottle. And then on top of that, he
slapped the cap off another black wrestling fan.
Yeah, you didn't know if he was a fan because he's sitting up here saying, "Oh, I thought you were a worker." Why did you feel like you needed to go out of your way to put your hands on another American Negro? And this is what I was saying about Negroes having to take stuff in the locker room. People just don't know. They have to take this stuff because white folk do this thing that they call play, and when they play too much. And when Negroes is not playing, when you don't want to be touched, you don't want to be touched. He was touching on that man. He was sexually assaulting that man. He rubbed his hands all over his face, rubbed his arms all down his shoulders, and he was going for his lower anatomy before the other man stopped him and stopped him. Take a look at this.
You don't sell it?
He sexually assaulted him. And, you know, these are the things that a lot of guys, a lot of American Negroes have to go through in these locker rooms in the name of play. And if any other American Negro had reacted the way that Jackson had did, they wouldn't have a career today. And that shit is not fair because American Negroes are not able to stand up for themselves at the expense of their entire career. It's 2025. We getting ready to head into 2026, and we still held under this. And when we do strike back, white folk are actively calling for your murder, and they're actively calling for you to be put in prison for the rest of your life. How hypocritical is white folk, Mike? This is just a small preview of this week's edition of Rasslin' with Racism, which is premiering this evening at 8:30 p.m. on YouTube. If you are an American Negro and you are not subscribed to Rasslin' with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not, to actually get a get back. When you look at Carmelo Hayes and where he was on the NXT roster just 2 years ago, and look at where he is now, tell me how bright does Trick Williams' future look in the WWE? Wes Lee was once the best heel in NXT just a year ago. And they got this person, Ricky Starks. I don't know what he's truly mixed with, but he's out here claiming that he is an American Negro. The WWE has already reached their quota, and Cody Rhodes, his buddy, made a special call to get Ricky Starks on NXT. So in the name of blackness, he had to knock one out of the box. As to where Wes Lee, who was once a prominent figure on NXT, is relegated to backstage skits and jobbing left and right. We know what Javon Evans is capable of. Javon Evans is really, really, really good. To me, he has the same ability, if given the opportunity, as people such as Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega or even Swerve Strickland, if given the opportunity. I believe that he's more than capable. And yes, he is eligible to become number one contender tonight, which either Trick Williams had to take another loss or Javon Evans is going to have to take this loss. What type of success has Javon Evans had this year? He's lost just as much as Trick Williams. Even World Championship match is still in a losing effort. The only reason we continue to look towards this guy is off of his own volition, his own performance. Same thing with Naomi.
We've been saying this. I've been pointing this out ever since Ricky Starks came in. Wes Lee disappeared. Now all of a sudden, we seeing they're sending people back to TNA. Look, they haven't sent one white down to TNA. They haven't released one white. They showed up on TNA. That hasn't happened. But I'm pretty sure in a couple of weeks we're going to see Wes Lee debut on TNA and team up with the Rascals or something. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
So you brought up an interesting point, and we are going to discuss that in a minute, because that is a very interesting point that I think that need to be waking up. We've been talking about it for a little while. I want everybody to understand something. Wrestling with Racism I have been wrestling with racism for the past 5 years. But as far as the public programming go, I've been doing it for about 2 years. It's going on 2 years now. And I have everything documented. You can check all this stuff out on YouTube, everything that we have. And certain things that I say, certain things that my co-host may say, it may come off as a hot take when we say it initially, because especially with Negroes, that's why it's so frustrating, because this is a history of this stuff. We're not coming off no bullshit. And the stuff is happening right in front of our very eyes, and we report it in real time. We get a lot of pushback. We get a lack of understanding. And then later down the line, whether it's weeks, months, or years down the line, you look back and find that it is a reality. Some of these things is an unfortunate reality. I gotta tell you all, I'm pretty sure that owner of a stolen gun could attest to this. It is very hard doing this program. It is very hard doing this program. It's hard doing this program because there are no progression for American Negroes. They told us that it wasn't going to be, and they are showing that to be true. It's hard to do this program because wrestling is so trash right now. I mean, we literally had a PLE tonight, this morning, and I didn't watch it. I don't know if Owner watched it, but did you watch it?
Hell, fuck no.
It's no interest. It's no incentive for us to want to watch this garbage whatsoever. So we're not going to report on there. I'm going to say a couple of things about John Cena, and that's it. We don't give a shit. Wrestling is ass, and it has been ass for a very long time. And for the last couple of years, Rasslin With Racism has been providing a surefire solution to restore pro wrestling. However, when you look at the fact that they just released Wesley, you see that they are only interested in regression.
I find it interesting, they bring up Ricky Starks, and he's essentially Wesley's replacement.
But like I said, we're going to talk about what led up to this situation, because Rasslin With Racism has been reporting on Wesley specifically since February. That once we found out that Ricky Starks was going to come in, we knew that this was going to be a decline. This is something that's been developing, and Rasslin With Racism has been the only ones on it. So I want to say, both Kiana James and Jada Parker are mixed with white, but they are pretty damn good wrestlers.
This is my first time learning of Kiana James being mixed with, she mixed with Foundational Black?
I don't know. We're going to have to check into that. We're going to get back on y'all with Kiana James. It's all, these people tend to hide certain shit. But we're going to get back on that. But in the meantime, that's neither here nor there. She's a pretty damn good talent. You know what I'm saying? And I want her to, do well, so long as it doesn't hinder other American Negroes. But then again, that is the question. With Kiana James developing as she has, and it could possibly get better, and the same thing with Jada Parker. And if they do choose to bring Lash Legend up, you know what I'm saying, and she progressed well, is that the key for Bianca Belair to be pushed out the door? Case in point, Ricky Starks lied on his application and said he's black. So that's all the black that they needed to push Wesley out the door. We have too many niggers. Like I said, the roster is going to bring these Negroes up. So how much longer is Bianca? How's Bianca going to survive through this? That's a crazy question to ask, but it's true.
Yeah, because how do you replace Bianca?
With just Jamaican and these white bitches?
They really don't care. I mean, we can see that they don't.
But you recognize that WWE is willing to have a trash show, just so long as an American Negro is not on it, right? Like tonight, right? This morning, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so they don't give a shit if Bianca never wrestle again, or else they would have her on there now, right? How much do they really value this one?
That's really insane.
Yeah, it really is when you think about it. When you think about it, we still never seen the attack on Jay. How bad was that shit for her to be out that long? And has she ever got her get back on Jay? Because I never seen Naomi get the upper hand at all. She never won the match, none of that shit, right? Every night she was getting whooped on despite her natural talents, right? Battles, it seems like they held it longer than the Street Profits, but whether they did or they didn't, they are much more active with those tag team championships than the Street Profits and the New Day were combined.
No, because they only defended the titles once, and it was against.
But they still doing shit every week. They still in storylines. They still doing shit every week.
they having matches, whether they defending the titles or not. They're active. It's been weeks that they've been tag team champions, or even recently to where the Street Profits haven't been featured at all. Most notably WrestleMania.
You can see the way they're using them, that they don't have anything real, like no real plans for them.
I can see that, but the only thing that I can also see is the fact that they don't want to have any plans for these people. They have not done shit with the Street Profits long before Bobby Lashley left. They don't have no interest. Triple H told us he don't see he don't want to see.
Which is interesting because the only reason they paired up with Bobby Lashley is because they're black.
Bobby Lashley is a goddamn Hispanic. I need white folk to come correct. We living in the MAGA America. We living in the white America right now. Just go ahead on and release all the Negroes. Show us where you truly stand. Let them go. Let them go. Take your heat. Let them go. TKO, let them go. Fired Carmelo Hayes. Fired Trick Williams. Fired Lash Legend. Fired Bianca Belair. Fired the Street Profits. Fire them all right now. Stand on that shit, because you ain't doing shit. Bianca Belair haven't been injured for months. Her injury is not as serious as people would like to make it be. They don't have, you can't revise nothing for a woman that truly holds the intrigue. Fired her.
Every one of those people has real personality, a real draw, and they treat them like jobbers.
White folk would destroy themselves. White folk will literally themselves. They will, before they let an American Negro progress with tangibles. He's a really good worker. And that's what I was saying about, like, even SGW wrestling, the mud wrestling stuff. You know, them African guys, they pretty damn good. It seems like they catching on. I don't know what type of training that they getting, but sometimes it don't even take all that. You know, we at the point to where now you can just imitate stuff. I was watching the Triple Threat Women's match, and I just seen Rhea Ripley hit the Razor's Edge out of nowhere. Yeah, and you know the Razor's Edge, you know, Scott Hall could put the guy down bigger than him. He put the giant down with that motherfucker. But what did she do? So she just went for another powerbomb. You know, a little weak powerbomb after that too. The Razor's Edge looked so goddamn good. That was good enough. She just scooped her up and put her in another powerbomb, just so lightly. And then Naomi broke up the pin. Any other time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going through so much of the extremes, and I was listening to Bruce Pritchard a while back when he said, y'all go and do all this hardcore shit and hit each other with light tubes and all this other different stuff. That's people supposed to sell the headline. You know, I got into Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. I got so much to the Von Erichs because of the stories that they told inside of the ring. Who calls today? Who is suspending your disbelief whenever you check out pro wrestling? Who can you get behind and just, you know, wrestling fake? You know, wrestling fake as shit. Yeah. But Undertaker suspended your disbelief here and there. You believed it. Yeah. You believed Stone Cold, right? Yeah. Who grabs you today?
Not really anybody on the roster outside. Like I said, outside of like what I've seen from Naomi, nobody really.
I mean, Naomi grabbed, but see, that's the perfect example. Yeah. And Naomi grabs you, so Bianca gave you something that you could feel for a minute, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought you meant currently, you know, because Bianca.
Well, I mean, let's just say over the last decade.
Okay, Bianca. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say over the last decade. That's a long time. Let's say over the last decade. Bianca, okay, now, I've only been talking to you for a couple hours. You seem like a cool, you know, classy type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Some people will call people like, some of us will call people like Montez Ford
especially what we seen on camera on the May shit.
Yeah.
They punked them niggas up.
Oh yeah,
we can see them. We can see them as corny, but you know, in our culture, corny is good. Like, oh, this they gonna liven up the party and they gonna have the hoes too, right?
Yeah, they got a good mix. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
So they give you something that you could feel, right?
Yeah.
The Sammys ain't give you something that you could feel.
No.
When Kevin Owens hit Stone Cold Stunner, what does that do for you?
Made me throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Oh God! Like two girls in the cup, ain't it?
It's like they're trying to keep Stone Cold's move relevant in someone. That's kind of how I felt about it. I actually like the pop-up power.
And their shit with everybody else was out of deceit.
Yeah, white culture was just degeneracy and oppression and shit like that.
You better know that it is.
Yeah.
They would never admit to none of the stuff. Who colors? You know, white folk. I noticed that the white folk funny too, because like I said, deceit is the key for white folk, okay?
Oh yeah, for him anyway.
But just like, I'm going to say something, you just said something very important. They just trying to keep it relevant. But how is it relevant when the very next thing that person do is kick out?
You right. I think he had to stop doing the pop-up powerbomb because he's not in shape to do it.
He's not in shape.
That makes sense.
He's not in fucking shape. You know, and this is sad. It's amazing that Triple H is keeping him on with his going to the White House, ask for a bill that don't nobody know about yet, but it's done. You know what I'm saying? That's
It's
crazy.
supposed to be a bill about fitness, and then you look at the WWE roster and you got Dominic Mysterio who won't take his shirt off because he look like shit.
Okay, so you just hit two things that we need to get into real quick. But before I say that real quick, here's the key right here. But Owner, you already just did the thing for me. Kevin Owens, I remember Kevin Steen. I used to go watch Kevin Steen. They used to come down the trail.
He could do all those package pile drivers and package suplexes on them motherfuckers because they weigh 120 pounds.
Kevin Steen for a minute had the best move set, but like you said, they had they was 125 pounds. And I can't say the traveling because Kevin Owens could work for a good 4 or 5 day week during that time. But at the same time, like you said, these are key factors. They were 125 pounds. They were already gymnastics. They already knew how to work with people and shit. You know, these people gonna be uncooperative when they 200 or 300 pounds in the WWE. So you is right. And that did take the value out. So one, I do believe that's why he is always the guy that do y'all know? I always said that Jeff Hardy was a jobber. Because Jeff Hardy, jobbers is different today. Jobbers is not your Freddie Floyd. You know what I'm saying? He not your regular Freddie Floyd. And he not your regular Hercules and shit. He is the one that's going to beat, and Jeff Hardy too is the ones that's going to beat all of your favorite people. But when it come down to Edge, and when it come down to Triple H, and when it come down to John Cena, just like Edge, they're not going to beat John Cena and shit. In sincerity. You just got it like that. Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage never pinned Hulk Hogan. Never. Ted DiBiase never pinned him. Roddy Piper won, but he never pinned him. I think Ric Flair may have pinned him at a house show one time. Other than that, Ric Flair was getting wins, but it was like call-outs and shit. It was some weird shit, but it was doing house shows and shit in the WWF. None of these people ever pinned Hulk Hogan throughout a lifetime. But they're the greatest. You know what I'm saying? And now we're at the point where Jeff Hardy and all of them is that. To where they can beat all your favorite people. Umaga could beat all these people just so they could lose to the bigger man. And it's shameful now because, like I said, they got so much programming now. To where you got Kevin Owens, you got to feature that stuff hours per week. You know what I'm saying? So it's being amplified, and so it's just coming off as bad. And then you keep bringing him into the mix to lose again. You lost to every major champion over the last few years. Full Colas, you have had 3 WWE champions over the last maybe 6 years.
Yep.
That worked. Bruno could be fucking champion, 5, 6 years, 11 years, 8 years, just that another, because they didn't see him on TV every week. You know what I'm saying? Hulk Hogan. They didn't see Hulk Hogan wasn't on. They didn't have Raw and shit. Hulk Hogan wrestled on major. He wrestled on house shows, and on TV he cut fucking promo. He maybe featured in the match when primetime and shit came out. They got to feature one little bullshit match. He faced goddamn Hillbilly Jim or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That was Hulk Hogan, but he had the popularity when it was time. Now we got to see these people be superstars in the ring every single week. How much does that drain you?
A lot. And it gets repetitive.
Very. Because these people gotta have long-standing careers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but this is something we brought up on the last couple of shows, I think, is the overexposure, all the way down to the weight, the cameras, all the way down to the definition.
It's so clear.
It's too exposed.
You can see you can just see, you've been historically going to WWE shows, right? You are an American and an American Negro only. Subscribe. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify, Rumble, and the non-crackers at Apple, Twitter, X, or White Truth. So it's hypocritical. Same thing with a Velveteen Dream. It's hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta look at people like John Cena. John Cena got more clout than Brock Lesnar. And you supposed to be the greatest white man of all time. You supposed to be the most upstanding person of all time. What statement would it have made for you on your last year to outright reject Brock Lesnar coming back? You didn't even have to do it publicly. You could have rejected it when they sent you the offer. It just shows you a lot about John Cena. But it's funny too, because Hulk Hogan always put this first over people's face, and as social media opened up, you could see what type of asshole he is. But you look around, and they kind of showed you on Total Divas and shit like this. John Cena could portray this great person all he wants to, but in his home life, he's a fucking horrible man. He cheated on his first wife, treated her like shit. Did the same thing to Nikki or Brie Bella or whoever he was fucking. He fucking over women all over town. That's not being an upstanding man when you're going around to these Make-A-Wish kids and you're fucking their mama the second that you die. We gotta start looking at these people and stop looking at them as so much great people. And that's the same thing I say about Vince McMahon. The WWE is so trash right now. But white folk are willing to go back to Vince McMahon because they don't like the work that Triple H is doing. White folk are hypocrites because why do y'all choose to go to the most worst people just to satisfy your needs? We hold white folk accountable around here. This is just a small preview of tomorrow's edition of Rasslin With Racism. Is WWE Women's World Champion Naomi pregnant, injured, or experiencing racism, or all of the above? If you are an American Negro and you are not subscribed to Rasslin With Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. all American Negroes are welcome to tune in to tomorrow's edition of Rasslin With Racism. In the meantime, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is.
White supremacy is holding back wrestling. Look at the NHL. Dominated by whites.
Dominated.
No fucking.
We can't even think to want to be considered. And I want to say this real quick because I'm glad that you brought that up. And Owner, you brought something up. And subscribe to Rasslin With Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, and at Non-Crackers at Out on Twitter X for more white truths. The NHL and shit like that. First of all, I want to say this. Rasslin With Racism is specific to wrestling because this is my field. But if there's any American Negroes that feel the need to stump for American Negroes being presented and represented in hockey and in the NHL specifically, I urge you all to puck with racism. Start that up. Advocate for your American Negroes because we are highly misrepresented in soccer, we are highly misrepresented in tennis, we are highly misrepresented in golf, we are highly misrepresented in hockey, and lacrosse, and rugby, and we talking about some grueling sports where we would be whooping their ass if we was to participate in it. I want to say something real quick. You know, we got Tiger Woods, we got Tiger Woods, we got the Williams sister. And, you know, white folk would say, hey, niggers are successful in tennis because of the Williams sisters, who has possibly the greatest stats in at least in women's tennis. Yeah. But we got to take those two and apply that to us for a lifetime. When they still haven't put these tennis courts in the American Negro neighborhoods. When they still haven't put, they may have tennis courts, they don't have the tennis equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's money, and they will double down like the football, which just gives us more like CTEs or everything else.
Everybody in the world knows LeBron James and Steph Curry. Everybody in the world knows Kevin Durant. You can't tell me the top hockey player.
Well, what I'm saying is they're out there, but these are specific sports that are restricted in our areas. Hell, there's a lot of wrestling schools that's not even in American Negro areas. A lot of American Negroes have to travel hours just to go to wrestling school a few times a week. You know what I'm saying? And all this is leading towards Booker T. You got to know that all this is leading towards Booker T. I'm just compiling. These sports are restricted from us to where we wouldn't even think to have an interest in doing them.
Oh yeah, and people are pissed off.
The ones that can sneak away and do it, they gain interest, but they get so lost in the shuffle because of the color of their skin. Anybody knew the actual definition of a pimp? No one pimps their women more than white folk.
You get back to the hotel and stay there.
I like it here.
Go on, get moving.
I said, I like it here.
Well, I can change that in a hurry.
Absolutely. You're not gonna go there right now. Speaking of there, here comes Charlotte Flair. Let's see how beautiful her face looked before she started sweating. No. Was coming out looking like Diana Ross and shit. She looked raggedy than a motherfucker. She looked like Sharon now. As she get closer and closer, I just see more and more wrinkles and shit. She look like she forcing this smile, like she really don't want to be there. Or is it because she got so much weight on her head, as heavy as is the head that wears the crown. How is Charlotte Flair this week? She looks like she's just going through all these mood swings. Because last week she just looked gorgeous and she looked like she was into it. This week she looked like she forcing herself. Is she going through a wave of emotions, Chad?
Absolutely. You know, she's single. She's known for being single, and she's ragging them up. You know,
she looked like she slimmed down from last week because we noticed how full she looked. But this week she looked like, like I said, she looked like Cher this week.
I thought that was Laundry Boys.
Yeah. And it really looked like she forcing herself to be there tonight. Like she really don't feel like, because we don't know what these athletes go through when the curtains go down. You know what I'm saying? And when we look at something as close as wrestling and shit, we got to look at their facial expressions sometimes and know when they actually just going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte just going through the motions. She don't want to be in the ring with this bitch. Who is this bitch?
What's Chelsea Green?
That Nikki Belly, not Nikki, Super Nikki. Who is this bitch?
Chelsea Green.
Oh, that's Chelsea Green.
Yeah. You know, oh man, Charlotte has the ability, she has the body type to make anybody else look like they have a better body. Like Chelsea Green.
This is my point right here, because Chelsea Green, white folks sit up here and tell me that Chelsea Green is the wave of the future, and Dewdrop and whoever this other bitch, they the wave of the future and shit. Charlotte Flair don't have no issue going in the ring with them. How come Charlotte didn't get in the ring in the beginning of Bianca's career? Help elevate her, you know, even in the winning effort. She just completely avoiding Bianca Belair, and don't sit up here and try to give it to me 5 years from now and tell me like this is what we've been waiting for all our life. Y'all not even trying to build anticipation for the shit. Y'all completely leaving this feud cold. If Bianca Belair music was to hit right now, and then she was to come on, no, it wouldn't hit. Never, because nobody could even envision this. White folk is trained to not even envision to want to see this match. Nobody is screaming out of all the dream matches. Nobody is screaming for this to be a dream match. Why, Mike? Somebody love the man. I mean, I really want to know why, owner.
It's two different classes, man. Charlotte is one category, Bianca the shine. She's a whole nother stratosphere.
Because they don't want to see. They're afraid that Bianca will wrestle circles around Charlotte.
Not just that. She will. Just look at them standing next to each other. Just look at them. Instead,
we talking about 1 week the bitch look like she on the eating disorder. The next week we glad that she getting herself together. The next week she look like she's forcing herself to be there. The next week she look like she forcing herself to throw up. This is our weekly conversation with fucking Charlotte Flair, right?
Yep. In fact, she looks like Tori Wilson when she had the eating disorder. We noticed how Tori's body was changing. Look at Charlotte Flair.
Now, how long has, let's be honest, and I'm serious, how long has Bianca Belair been in the WWE?
7 years, I think.
8 years. Let's say 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
8, 9 years?
Yeah.
And we know that Charlotte Flair been in the WWE much longer than that, but in an 8-9 period time span, 9-year time span, how many marriages have Charlotte Flair been through? Let's wake this shit up now.
I don't know. And
the relationship.
We talking about some love and happiness. She done been through at least 3 or 4 marriages in 8 or 9 years, and Bianca Belair had been in 1, so she's been happier in life than Charlotte Flair. I would hope. You know what I'm saying? Because Charlotte looked like shit, and if Bianca holding it in, then she's a hell of a woman. An American Negro have to hold that shit in, because if she let up for 1 second, she will be deemed a nigger
and be justified for prison or death.
And didn't Andrade divorce this last time?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I think she was fighting him. I think she was putting her hands to him, like, because he felt like he was the husband, and she like, nigga, lower your what? And then she played that role, and he like, nah, I can't. Naturally, as a man, no.
Can't do it. Nah.
That's what I think that was. She thought she was gonna get a gardener down there and in the round of the shit. Nah. And then she was always hurting. He was on the road and shit. And then he wasn't making no money for real. And then, you know, you knew that was just done from the start. I think that because okay, so it was a report earlier this week that Charlotte Flair was helping somebody out after she got released. I think that Charlotte helped him get his green card because it does line up right around now. He will be deported, right?
Yeah, that's true. They were married for 2 years.
Let's cut the bullseye off.
Yeah. Well, that was her third marriage. Just to be. None of her marriages 3-4 years.
Excuse me?
None of her marriages last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, she's a whore, and she don't know what she want on top of that. You know what I'm saying? She got daddy issues, I believe. She got mommy issues. She don't ever talk about her mama. You know what I'm saying? Why you don't never see her mama at the Hall of Fame? I mean, we about to start waking this shit up now. Is she dead? I mean, if she dead, you gotta excuse me. I'm sorry. Is she dead? Did Charlotte Flair mama die?
I don't think she is.
I have no clue. Okay.
We seen Bianca mama on TV though.
You know what? Her mother and father. Come on now.
Whole family. Yep. Bring whole family on.
Mm-hmm. Let's wake that shit up. Montez Ford family. See, that's what the fuck they hate. And that's why they didn't have Bianca Belair and Montez Ford appear with each other when they was lumping people together throughout the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, throughout the weekend.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you give a shit about the relationship between Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch? Ingenuality?
No. She can
You give a fuck about anything about them?
No. She can pick whoever she wants.
You want to see how cute they are on Family Feud?
No. Nope.
Black attracts, and black is the only thing that's missing from wrestling, and that's why wrestling is ass today. We got what we call one of the greatest women of all times in the ring with a woman that they are going to force to be in her position 5 to 10 years from now, and it'll never work for you.
The way out of that sport, and I think that we put our investments more into basketball and football, and those sports to a certain extent have damaging effects on our body.
That's all part of our acceptance. Basketball.
No, Mr. Ellis says no.
It's a sport that white folk can't fake. That's a sport to where they have to get out there and do what they got to do to make it, and they can't do that. American whites have shown that they can't do that. If you look at all the whites that's so prevalent in basketball today, they all international. With football, the thing about football is, you know, whites excel generally quarterback position, which means that they have tons of protection. They're the bitch out the group. So that's how they're able to be so great, because they got a bunch of Negroes surrounding them, protecting them from hits. But yet the quarterback is called the leader. White supremacists will restrict American Negroes from sports such as hockey, soccer, lacrosse, golf. You know, these sports, those sports in particular, are not, in tennis, are not in our school curriculums. It's a reason why they restrict that from us, so that we wouldn't even want to even care to get involved in those sports. Because if we did, obviously, we would tear their asses up from limb to limb. White folk wouldn't be
I mean, look, and it's funny too because whites is hypocrites. You know, you got all these fights in the NBA and stuff, and they call it a thug league. And the NBA do the best they can when they get out of control. They do the best they can to tame that with heavy suspensions, heavy fines, this, that, and the other. They try to control the way that they dress. They try to control the way that they talk to the media. But white folk can go out here and beat each other asses all day long in hockey. As a matter of fact, that was my appeal to the hockey. The fights. It's not the actual game. It's the fights. They could go out there and beat each other ass in lacrosse. They could go out there and beat each other ass in rugby. They could go out there and beat each other ass in soccer. They could go out there and beat each other ass in baseball. They actually fight the umpires. They fight the authority in baseball. And they don't have these perceptions that they are a thug elite. As a matter of fact, these guys are known as American heroes. So it's a major misconception. Much as these white folk point fingers at us, white folk would be just as filthy, if not more. And it's accepted because white America is a white supremacist country. And they'll never admit
the crazy thing, it reminds me of Dr. Nelly Fuller, one of the videos that he had. He said, the only real man in the system of white supremacy is the white man. I can't have, he said, the black boy, either you could be a black boy or a black girl, but you can't be a black man in their system. And that's what I kind of see when it comes down to some of these sports.
I want you on this base today that we're going to do, just based off of what you said alone. Just literally, and I want you to take that quote, to note that quote that you just said specifically, because you do have a 24, 25-year-old white girl that called a black man a boy. Right now, the biggest talks about this is black and white people not understanding how damaging that was, what she said. They don't have an understanding of what she said. They making the claim that she don't even have an understanding of what she said as a 24, 25-year-old white girl. No, but obviously that came from her household.
Yo, look, I have a question. Did they fine her? Did they fine her or suspend her from
the women's champion? No.
It don't matter. She's the women's champion. You know how many times she had?
No, they didn't do anything. As a matter of fact, she's probably due to get a big contract coming soon. Major contract coming soon. She's due to face two black women too, by the way. She's due to face a Jamaican woman next month on pay-per-view, and more than likely that's going to translate into a feud with an American Negro woman. So it's going, we're going to start ramping up on this bitch. Most of the topic today is going to be her. And her and the usage of the word boy. Yes, the main...
Second, because KB, I know you have a question. I'm gonna get to you in a second. HBK, I'm looking at the lineup from last night just so I can have it in front of me so I don't miss anybody.
Okay.
African American wrestlers that were on the pay-per-view. Okay.
5.
Keith Lee. Swerve Strickland. Hobbs. Ricky Starks. I got it.
Ricky Starks isn't black. Don't try to play that bullshit with me. That's a Rachel Denzel case.
This is crazy.
I didn't even want you to say that, DJ, because I'm me being mixed race as well.
Yeah, like that. Like okay.
Can we move? Can we move? Let's move, man.
No. I really want to
let him finish. It's black people like this that get on my nerves. So let's just let him finish.
Yeah. So we also now have. I mean, you don't want to count these other people. Scorpio Sky. Let's keep going through there. Oh, you don't want to mention Hook, even though he's biracial as well because his father is Taz. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
What about Taz?
Okay.
So you about to tell me that Taz is a black man?
This is crazy, bro.
His son is black, whether you like it or not.
His son is black. His mother is...
Stop. Let him talk.
Hold on. Are you saying his mother is black?
I'm going to ask this question, and it's a yes or no question, and does not need a soliloquy.
You can't answer those.
Is Hook who was on the buy-in for the pay-per-view last night, a part of a biracial family.
I
With
don't
his
know. Is his
father
mother black?
being
I don't know his
a
mother.
former
What his
ECW
father is
legend.
Italian. So what is his mother?
You know what?
I'm asking
Like,
you.
I'm
asking you. What
really
is his mother?
trying. I'm really trying to like really understand what
I'm
you're saying.
asking you. I don't. I'm telling you. I don't know because I don't know his mother. What is his
DJ,
mother?
hold
I
up.
know
DJ,
Taz
hold up.
is.
May I please speak?
I know that
Go ahead,
Taz is
KB.
Italian. What is his mother? Are you saying that his mother is black?
I don't want to cut nobody off, but can I say something on this, please?
Go ahead, KB, because you've been waiting a while.
Thank you. Now, HBK, I kind of understand what you're saying, but in AEW, we as a people are being represented a lot better than we would be in the other company. I refuse to mention their name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. We are represented a lot better in AEW than we are in any other wrestling company.
How do you
From
figure?
what I've seen.
Excuse me? Give me detail. How do you figure?
Okay, I give you proof. Somebody like Jade Cargill. Do you really think that she would be represented like this if she was in the other wrestling company?
Probably better. She got the look to be a star. That's based off of a look. Yes.
Bianca has a look too.
First, they wouldn't put her on TV first they wouldn't put her on TV until she was ready. That's the first thing. They wouldn't put her on. They wouldn't even put her on NXT. They wouldn't even put her on NXT TV until she was ready. They're gonna train the shit out of her.
Last Legend says otherwise.
Okay.
Jade Cargill has a.
Hey, let him finish. Like, don't laugh. Let him finish.
Jade Cargill has a star.
Hold on, let me finish. Go ahead, man.
Jade Cargill has a star appealing look. That is a look that WWE would definitely be looking for. And I think she is going to be on her radar once her contract is. Don't underestimate that.
Okay, well, to counter your argument, how about Athena? Look at the way they treated her.
She's short.
Look at the way they treated Athena.
Look at the way they treated Sasha Banks and Naomi.
I don't like how they treated Athena. I damn sure don't like how they treated Sasha Banks and Naomi. I'm 100% against that because
thank you.
I'm 100% against that. First of all, the WWE is a very racist organization. The WWE has historically been a very racist organization.
I agree with you on that.
So then, how can you say that they
wait a
will
minute?
do good
I'm
with
not
Jade Cargill?
because we're talking.
Let him finish, please. Let him finish what he's saying.
Thank you. The difference is the WWE is at least they allow black people to make money for them. Okay. Yes, they do. At least they allow black people to make money for them. Okay. Booker T, JYD, Ernie Ladd, you could go back to the 60s. The Pez Motleys.
Okay, I give you that, but here's the thing.
Wait a minute.
Let him finish.
And they have treated them, they have presented them as equal, whether it was good or bad. They have presented them as equal as they have the whites. And even paid them equally. Nobody has ever had a dispute as to whether they had a racial issue with the WWE. Why? Because Vince McMahon is a businessman. Just because he's racist he's not going to openly do that he's racist. He's going to take you just like a slave master might take care of. Okay? So that's the big difference in AEW and the WWE because AEW is showing it. Now, let me ask you as a black man, what are you truly satisfied with when it comes down to Jade Cargill? Because, okay, we've been going 3 years with this woman just beating people left and right, which is technically really nobody's. Okay? Where is it going? You just threw Athena out last night. And like I said, that just started last night. So let's see where that goes. That's to be continued because it seemed like anytime they debut certain people, they dropped the ball with them. They did drop the ball with Andrade. They dropped the ball with their own people, but they did drop the ball with Andrade. They did drop the ball with who is that one guy that they dropped the ball with Jay Lethal. They haven't done pretty much shit with him since he got there.
He's feuding with Andre.
I'm just waiting for you to finish your soliloquy. Okay, can I answer that question?
My thing, what they can do better with their black talent is they could present them better. They could book them better. Putting the title on somebody isn't anything if you aren't doing anything with them.
One man
it seemed like Jade role has stopped.
since she won that title. They just put the baddies together, like a month ago, and just had them sitting on Rampage.
Okay, have you ever heard the expression long-term booking?
This is
what. No one's like, oh well, because that thing, especially Hollywood, especially any other job, if you can't put your people on, then what? What's the point?
You know how
success be.
You know how fucked up it is right now, and it's not because of them. The fact that the WWE, a white supremacist organization, put this, and I didn't say nothing about it. You know me, I'll say anything. They put this Hispanic-dominated program on for Hispanics in LA today when they going through hella protests about trying to stay here. It's coincidentally, I didn't see not one question. Why is the WWE doing this for Hispanics? Well, they didn't try to infiltrate on their institution. They look forward to it. Over 500,000 people sat there and watched that program. Not one person, not one white bitched about why is it all Hispanic, majority Hispanic, 97% Hispanic program when it should be for all lives.
Well, that's the problem, is that you don't have they are, Latinos are like really low key in the white supremacists, man. They are not low key. They're actually out there blatant.
Wake that shit up. Wake it up.
Then, they are, they're
the fucking crying about Black Panther.
Yeah, they talk all this other stuff. They are.
And when Blue Beetle came out, and it was their turn to support that shit, they did not show up.
Oh yeah, and better than that, you have these same people who are the Cubans for Trump. If you remember all that stuff, Cubans for Trump, man. They were like all this other stuff, everything. And guess what happened? They getting, recently the Supreme Court said, "Oh, you're not protected anymore." And guess what happened? All these people, they got deported. And especially there was one.
They showed the one lady. It was a clip. They showed the one lady. Yeah, the Hispanics for Trump. Then they showed her on the news crying, and it's an injustice. The man lied. The man lied. And they had her in handcuffs going in the van. Like, bitch, get your ass on out of here.
There's this one Cuban. He's like, oh, I believe that they were gonna leave the hand, but now he's locked up in the ICE chamber and such. Let me just see if I can get this. These the same people were like, oh, we thought he was gonna give him a hand, but guess what happened? Now they're like, they woke up like, oh wait, they locked us up. So that was they get their wake up call.
I just want to say really quickly, because we are watching Money in the Bank. Naomi is performing well right now. She's looking really good. She's looking really burgundy right now. Owner, do you believe that this is something bigger than what the WWE is portraying? And why do you believe that the WWE is going to the extremes of covering this up instead of being more upfront? And at the same time, because I did post earlier that Naomi is being silenced. She has been active on Twitter, and she's one of the most active people on Twitter and Instagram with the fans, and she has been silent long before Monday. Do you believe that it's deeper than this so-called injury or pregnancy?
Most definitely.
Rasslin With Racism premieres today at 4 p.m. Eastern with a new edition of Rasslin With Racism. Is WWE Women's World Champion Naomi pregnant, injured, or experiencing racism, or all of the above? This is a very important edition as we continue to wrestle with racism, as we have an array of topics of things that is going on and must be addressed, not just in the WWE, not just in the AEW, not just in America, but worldwide. Please be sure to join us, so long as you are an American Negro. And if you are not subscribed to Rasslin With Racism, check out the other content. If it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. You may also find Rasslin With Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and at Non-Crackers That Out on Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. In the meantime, take care of yourselves as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. We here at Rasslin With Racism hope that each and every single American Negro enjoyed this edition of Rasslin With Racism, as we can assure you that wrestling with racism is not the easiest thing in the world to do. We here at Rasslin With Racism aim to exploit white truths. However, white truths isn't the easiest thing to live through. As we continue to wrestle with racism, we are in the second half of our second season, and Wrestling With Racism is hiring for key positions. We are actively seeking an editor. If you are an editor and you are an American Negro, please feel free to DM me your resume. You must be in tune with professional wrestling and social issues regarding race, specifically with American Negroes. You may DM me at non-crackers@al with the L on the end on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. Rasslin With Racism is also actively seeking an associate producer. Please DM me your resume if you are interested in the position. You may also DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also where you can find more white truths. To American Negroes, we encourage you all to voice your opinion on the state of professional wrestling and American Negroes' participation in professional wrestling on camera and behind the scenes, also in executive roles. If you would like to join HBK 400, Deportation 2025, the owner of a stolen gun, and our trusted, valued correspondents, Foundational Bearded American, and Duke CT from the Duke CT Lounge, feel free to DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. It is important for our voices to become collective as we are truly facing erasure. American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. We here at Rasslin With Racism would like to thank each and every single American Negro for tuning in to this program. If you are not subscribed to Rasslin With Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. Be sure to also tune in to Rasslin With Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, and at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. This is also very important as we continue to wrestle with racism. American Negroes and American Negroes only, feel free to leave your comments below. Rasslin With Racism will return next week with a new edition of Rasslin With Racism. In the meantime, take care of yourselves as an individual, one another as family. as our dearly beloved ancestor Frankie Beverly stated plainly,